What's up, guys? Welcome to the show today. For our Friday episode this week, we're going to be going over some stash players for Dynasty. Those guys that are kind of just hanging around on the waiver wire, waiting for you to add them. Maybe they turn into something. Most likely they turn into nothing, as we all know. But that is what's fun about Dynasty. If you haven't been to the channel before, I'm Sam. Please subscribe and like the video. I really appreciate everyone checking this out. And I hope you guys have a good weekend. So we're going to do one stash player for each position in Dynasty football. The first guy I'm going to go over today is a quarterback, and that's going to be Jarrett Stidham, quarterback over there in Denver, currently QB 47 on Keep Trade Cut, so very, very low. Why I'm choosing Stidham here is he's one of the few guys who is technically currently the starter that could maybe be considered a stash player. Do we expect him to be the starter? Probably not, but we don't really know how the NFL draft is going to play out. And maybe they are tanking this year and looking for a quarterback next year there in Denver. And in that case, maybe Stidham does start some games. And if you're adding him off the waiver wire and getting any sort of startable quarterback in a super flex league, even you're getting a return of a third-round pick or something for a guy like Stidham during the year, it could show benefits to your team. It is it's a long shot play, but he is someone who could be on a waiver wire that could maybe end up with a starting job next year. So I'm okay taking the bait here. Next player we're going to do is going to be a wide receiver on the Rams, re-signed a one-year deal. Demarcus Robinson, he had a decent little stretch there for the Rams. Currently, he's still slated to be the wide receiver 3. We will see what happens in the draft. But if the depth chart looks similar or he beats out a rookie, or we don't really know, right? He's a stash player. He's wide receiver 119 on KTC. So don't tell me this guy could maybe be available in your league. He had some playable flex-worthy weeks to end the season last year. He looked good. They obviously brought him back because they liked what they saw. So maybe Demarcus Robinson is someone you can put on the tail end of your roster. Play him a couple times, trade him for a fourth. Those kind of guys are pretty good outcomes for a stash player if you can turn them into anything or even have to play them a couple times. That is beautiful. We're actually going to go back to another Ram here. Ronnie Rivers, he was the backup last year to Kyren. We'll see if that stays the same just because we don't love the RB class in the draft. Maybe he returns and is the handcuff. And if that's the case, RB 96 in potentially a very good situation for running backs with the offensive line signings of the Rams. I don't hate adding Ronnie Rivers here and keeping him on your bench. Maybe you trade him to the Kyren owner if Kyren goes down for a couple weeks. Maybe you play him a couple times. Maybe you dish him to someone for a third. These are long shot plays. They're nothing super crazy. And I think Ronnie Rivers is a guy I would be very curious to add and see where he sits on the depth chart there in Los Angeles next year. Last stash player for today. Very, very quick video. It's a Friday episode. I just want to give you guys some names. Go put these waiver ads in right now. I've talked about Daniel Bellinger before. KTC, tight end 31. Darren Waller could retire if the Giants don't add a tight end in the draft or any of these random guys sitting in free agency, which there aren't really much left. I mean, Logan Thomas maybe? I don't think we're too scared of that. Daniel Bellinger has looked decent in his career when he gets on the field. We'll see what happens there for the Giants. But tight end 31, Darren Waller retires. Watch this go up to tight end 21. And you're immediately getting a value bump. Maybe you use him. Maybe you quickly dish him to someone who needs a little tight end depth. But Daniel Bellinger could be someone on the waiver wire. Probably not in a tight end premium league, but you never really know. Sometimes you just got to take a peek at the waiver wire to really see who's out there. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Drop some of your stash players down in the comments here. I'd love to see who we are all picking up this time of year. I love this part of Dynasty. The guys who probably turn into nothing, but every once in a while you hit an absolute diamond in the rough. Let's not forget Kyren could have been a stash player last year. Someone could have dropped him after a pretty bad and disappointing rookie season. You pick him up and he completely turns your team around the next year. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Hit me up in the comments if you have any questions, and have a good weekend, guys. Peace.